It is the first of its kind in Montgomery County, a place where child crime victims and their families can gather more comfortably with people who can help them the most. NBC 10's Doug Schimel has more.
When a child is the victim of abuse or crime, it is only the beginning of a painful process.
They're very fragile. A lot of them have been going through abuse for a long time. It's very difficult to talk about it. A lot of them have never talked about it before.
And then there is the questioning by police detectives, prosecutors, and defense attorneys.
Each time the child needed to retell their story of the terrible things that had happened to them, they had to relive that experience over and over again.
Typically, I bring in markers and some coloring paper. Some children find it waxed.
But in West Norriton, Montgomery County, there is a kinder, gentler place where young crime and abuse victims can tell what they know.
We have interview rooms that have soft lighting in them, again, kid-friendly furniture, and an atmosphere where it's not like an interrogation in some type of a police station or other institutional criminal type of setting.
Mission Kids, this is Amy.
The brand new Mission Kids Child Advocacy Center that opens this week is a facility where now just one interviewer talks with a child in rooms that are monitored by hidden cameras while law enforcement can watch from a conference room. But there are soft, reassuring things all around that told one recent young victim it is finally safe.
She thought a minute and she looked around. This time she broke into a big smile and she said, "This is really cool."
Now joining me live from Norristown is Montgomery County District Attorney Risa Vetri-Furman. Thanks for joining us. Risa, you've made it your mission to help launch this center. Tell us why.
Thank you so much, Dawn. You know, it really goes back to all of my years as a prosecutor, and I handled child abuse cases, and over again I saw situations where kids had to talk about what happened to them so many times and relive the trauma, and that was so damaging to them, and ultimately it was really damaging to the cases that we tried to bring. And I believed that it was just critically important that our systems really focus on doing better for these kids and not hurting them anymore, and that was really the birth of Mission Kids.
Well, what is the biggest obstacle right now in prosecuting abuse cases, and does the center help?
I would say the biggest obstacle is that children have to talk about what happened to them, and if they have to go through multiple interviews and they're subjected to questioning by scary, sometimes people who aren't trying to be scary, but by different people in scary places, it makes the system harder for them. And kids, just like adults, when they talk about something more than one time, they're not going to say it exactly the same way. So we had a situation where kids, just because of our systems being set up that way, would have to talk about things many times, and then they would be really ripped apart in court because they didn't say anything exactly the same way. By focusing on one interview and doing it in a way that's more child-friendly and comforting, we're able to get the best evidence one time and then move forward to hold perpetrators accountable.
Well, we may have abuse victims and families watching right now. How to get access to the Mission Kids Child Advocacy Center?
Dawn, it's a great question, and really we need them to call the police. If there is someone who's been abused or a family member who thinks a child's been abused, the report needs to be made to the local police, and it will be through the local police or the Office of Children and Youth that the case would get referred to Mission Kids. This is not a place where people are going to walk off the street and make reports. This place is part of our systems, part of the social services, social welfare system, law enforcement, and criminal justice. We're the disciplines that are working together to investigate these cases properly. So that's how the cases will come to us.
A kinder, gentler place, right?
That is certainly our goal, Dawn.
All right. Montgomery County District Attorney Risa Vetri-Furman, thanks for joining us on NBC 10 News at 4.
Thank you very much for having me tonight.